Okay, we are live with the next round of the Shakespeare Monologue Challenge. We have Bill with us. He's never missed one yet. We have Elizabeth, who tried to join us last week. She had trouble with her camera and she got booted out. Apparently, Elizabeth still is having trouble with her camera, but which is too bad. We'd like to see her, but we would rather have her participate without visuals than not at all. So I'm glad that we've got her with us as well. We will go, and I don't know if Elizabeth saw this, but I mentioned everybody. Bill and I decided last week we would add a new feature to this, is that we would each do a monologue, and then we would then I created a new wheel with two-person scenes that we can develop. So we have two of us on screen at a time performing a scene impromptu that comes up. So that said, we'll go ahead. Bill had a question?
Well, just an observation, Mark. Sometimes you're moving your hand someplace where you're covering your mic. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I noticed your hand was moving around, and at certain points you got really muffled.
Oh, yeah. I'm using the computer's internal mic, and maybe I don't know where it is, and I'm putting my hand there, but I'll be conscious that maybe I should get an external mic from now on. Plug that in. That'll improve the sound. Anyway, let's okay, so we got the three of us, so we'll start with monologues, and then we'll go to the two-person scene. So person will go first will be... Okay, so it looks like I'm going first. And I will, I'll stick with the male wheel.
I don't see the wheel. I don't see the wheel. In case you need to know that.
Okay, yeah, I thought yeah, something happened. There we go. So, sorry about that. I switched the view. Oh, so we got. So I spun. Yeah, sorry to everyone watching that I had the wrong view turned on. But so I spun and I got. You know, okay.
We'll just have to believe you.
Yeah, no matter where. Yeah, that's a good one. So that said, I'll go ahead. We lost Elizabeth again. And I'll switch to my own view. Oh, wait a minute. Got to see what that is. Richard II, Act 3, Scene 2. Okay, so Duke of Omerle has just asked me, where is the Duke, my father, with his power? And I will say dejectedly, no matter where, of comfort no man speak. Let's talk of graves, of worms and epitaph. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills, and yet not so. For what can we bequeath, save our deposed bodies to the ground? Our lands, our lives, and all our Bolingbrookes. And nothing can we call our own but death. And what small model of the barren earth, which serves as paste and cover to our bones, for God's sake, upon the ground, and tell sad stories of the death of kings, how some have been deposed, some slain in war, some haunted by the ghosts they have deposed, some poisoned by their wives, some sleeping killed, all murdered. But within the hollow crown that rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court. And there the antic sits, scoffing his state and grinning at his pomp, allowing him a breath, a little scene to monarchize, be feared, and kill with looks, infusing him with self and vain conceit, as if this flesh which walls about our life were brass impregnable, and humored thus comes at the last, and with a little pin bores through his castle wall, and farewell, king. Cover your heads, and mock not flesh and blood with solemn reverence. Throw away respect, tradition, form, and ceremonious duty. For you have but mistook me all this while. I live with bread like you, feel want, taste grief, need friends. Subjected thus, how can you say to me, I am a king? Okay.
Great speech. Great speech.
Let's see if, oh, darn, we keep losing Elizabeth. That's too bad. It's too bad. We thought we...
Yes.
Here. Oh, you're back, Elizabeth?
Oh, here she comes.
I've been trying to figure out how to solve my camera, but...
Yeah, well, we keep every time you do, we keep losing you. So I think maybe it's better you just participate without camera than not at all. So we're glad you're at least back. And again, I spun. I went first. So
I saw you. I listened to it. It was beautiful. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
I was in the backstage trying to fix this, but I'm just going to pretend I'm in a radio play.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can pretend we're in radio plays. Yeah, I would have added you back in, but I was concentrating on my performance. So
of course.
Now I'm able to let you. If I lose you again while Bill's performing, I'll let you right back in. But
I'm not going to touch anything. I've given up.
Okay, so let's go back to so I won't make the mistake of not showing the wheel again. So we'll go back to the spinning distributor's next. Say his name. I will eliminate myself. So for between Bill and Elizabeth, the next turn will be okay. So Elizabeth is next. Elizabeth, would you like to do the female wheel or gender neutral?
I think gender neutral.
Okay, so we'll pull that one up. Here we go. So spinning the wheel for Elizabeth. Here we go. Okay, so you got Iago. What's he that says I play the villain? That's Act 2.
Oh, cool.
Starts approximately line 244. So let's
okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to realize I remove the other people.
Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you because I took myself out. I took myself out of the stream so that we could make you center stage.
Okay, just trying to find the monologue. Okay. If you can hear me, here I go. And what's he then that says I play the villain? When this advice is free I give, and honest, probable to thinking, and indeed the course to win the more again. For 'tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. She's framed as fruitful as the free elements, and then for her to win the more were to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeemed sin. His soul is so enfettered to her love that she may make, unmake, do what she list, even as her appetite shall play the god with his weak function. How am I then a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course directly to his good? Divinity of hell! When devils will the blackest sins put on, they do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For whiles this honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, that she repeals him for her body's lust, and by how much she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. So I will turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very wonderful. Okay, so Bill, are you gonna stick to male wheel or gender neutral?
I'd be more comfortable with just the male wheel.
Yeah, I think the gender is women have a point that Shakespeare didn't write very many good roles for women, so I think it's good that I made the gender neutral. It's more accommodating to women, so that they deserve to have more choices. But I think
so. That particular speech by Iago, if I didn't know the play, I would just think that Elizabeth was playing a villain, a female villain.
Yeah.
I think that women have lots of great speeches. It's just that there's fewer of them, and we've done them all,
And the women are such great characters in Shakespeare.
Okay, so back to the wheel. We can spin. We'll go to the male wheel for Bill's monologue, and then we'll do our two-person scenes. Here we go. Okay, so spinning for Bill.
Oh my God!
I did Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth monologue. I think the first time we played, I got that one, but nobody's done the other famous one from Lear until now. So Bill gets to start us off with that. So let me remove. Again, it's actually very easy to find the very beginning of Act 3. So as soon as you find that, I'll remove myself and Elizabeth, so you can be center stage for this.
I'm gonna look for it. Okay. I wish I was outside. I thought I was on Act 3, Scene 1.
Yeah, Act 3, Scene 1, very beginning of Act 3.
That's strange. That's not what's coming up on my. That speech is not coming up on my screen, and it does show I'm in Act 3, Scene 1. Huh. But it is Act 3, Scene 2. I just found it. Is this the one that begins blow winds? Right?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just checked. I'm sorry. My mistake. So I'll have to change that. I'm glad we noticed the problem. So sorry to the people that were post. Yeah, you're right. So it should. I wrote Act 3, Scene 1. You're right. It should have been Scene 2. So sorry for that.
That's fine. The fool does interrupt, and I'll ignore that and just put the two blocks of speech together. Okay. As I say, I wish I was outside. I'd like to be able to shout this. Oh yeah. Oh, winds and crack your cheeks, rage, blow, you cataracts and hurricanos spout till you have drenched our steeples, drowned the cocks, you'll suffer us, and fought executing fires, vaunt couriers to oak-cleaving thunderbolts, singe my white head, and thou, all shaking thunder, smite flat the thick rotundity of the world, crack nature's molds, and Germans spill at once that make ingrateful man. Rumble thy belly full, spit fire, spout rain, nor rain, wind, thunder, fire are my daughters. I tax you not, you elements, with unkindness. I never gave you kingdom, called you children. You owe me no subscription. Then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man. But yet I call you servile ministers that have with two pernicious daughters joined your high engendered battles against a head so old and white as this. Oh, oh, 'tis foul.
Okay.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
Okay, so here's my thought. We got three of us here. I'm thinking my thoughts for the round two where we switch to scenes is we'll spin the names wheel. We'll go 3 times, and it'll be 2 of us. And rather than taking turns for who's spinning for seeing who's performing, we'll spin to see who gets eliminated, and then the remaining 2 will do the scene. So we'll take turns for which person is out of the scene while the other 2 perform. So that's my thought on that, and unless you guys have a better idea. So let's go back to the wheel. So we'll go back to our names to spin for that. So for the first 2-person scene, we're going to eliminate me. So it'll be Bill and Elizabeth for the first scene. And so I'll bring up the male-female wheel. Okay, so Bill and Elizabeth are going to perform.
Oh boy.
Painting of the show. So Patruccio and Catherine. So act 1, Patruccio and Catherine, a Taming of the Shrew. That'll be interesting.
What's the act and scene?
Act 2, Scene 1.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'll eliminate myself from the stream, so I'll just rejoin because I wish I could eliminate my face without not being able to be heard, but if I have to come back in, I'll remove myself and the wheel, so just the 2 of you are on screen. Whenever you guys let each other know when you're ready, and then take it away when you're ready.
The question is, where do we start?
Yes. Do we start with Patruccio's monologue? I will attend her here.
Let me have a look about what I got this from after we had the idea. I looked around for suggestions online for the best 2-person scenes, and they kind of. I would say use your, it didn't specify line numbers.
I do see where Katerina comes in, and I think that would be a good place to start.
Okay. The 2 of you should just mute whatever you mutually agree is the right place. Just use your judgment.
Do you see that, Elizabeth?
Ready.
Where it says enter Katerina? Good morrow, Kate, for that's your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard, but something hard of hearing. They call me Katharina, that do talk of me.
You lie, in faith, for you are called plain Kate, and bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the Cursed. But Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom, Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate, for dainties are all Kates, and therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my consolation, Hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtues spoke of, and thy beauty sounded, yet not so deeply as to thee belongs. Myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved! In good time, let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew you at the first, you were immovable.
Why, what's a movable?
A joined stool.
Thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women were made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you, if me you mean.
Alas, poor Kate, I will not burden thee, for knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for such a swain as you to catch, and yet as heavy as my weight should be.
Should be. Should.
Well ta'en and like a buzzard.
A slow-winged turtle. Shall a buzzard take thee?
Aye, for a turtle as he takes a buzzard.
Come, you wasp. In faith, you are too angry.
I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy, then, is to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool could find it where it lies.
Who knows not where a wasp is, where his sting? In his tail.
Tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What, with my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again, good Kate. I am a gentleman.
That I'll try.
Ouch! I swear I'll cuff you if you strike me again.
So may you lose your arms. If you strike me, you are no gentleman. And if no gentleman, why then no arms.
A herald, Kate? Oh, put me in thy books.
What is your crest? A coxcomb?
A combless cock, so Kate will be my hen.
No cock of mine, you crow too like a craven.
Nay, come, Kate, come, you must not look so sour.
It is my fashion when I see a crab.
Why, here's no crab, and therefore look not sour.
There is.
Then show it me.
Had I a glass, I would.
What, you mean my face?
Well aimed of such a young one.
Now, by St. George, I am too young for you.
Yet you are withered.
'Tis with cares.
I care not.
Nay, hear you, Kate, in sooth, you scape not so.
You, if I tarry, let me go!
Not a whit. I find you passing gentle. 'Twas told me you were rough and coy and sullen, and now I find report a very liar. For thou art pleasant, gamesome, passing courteous, but slow in speech, yet sweet as springtime flowers. Thou canst not frown, thou canst not look askance, nor bite thy lip as angry wenches will, nor hast thou pleasure to be cross in talk, but thou with mildness entertainst thy wooers, with gentle conference, soft and affable. Why does the world report that Kate doth limp? Slanderous world. Kate, like the hazel twig, is straight and slender and as brown in hue as hazelnuts and sweeter than the kernels. Oh, let me see thee walk. Thou dost not halt.
Go, fool, and whom thou keepst command.
Did her Diane so become a grove as Kate this chamber with her princely gait? Oh, be thou Diane, and let her be Kate, and then let Kate be chaste and Diane sportful.
Where did you study all this goodly speech?
It is extempore from my mother wit.
A witty mother, witless else her son.
Am I not wise?
Is he warm?
Marry, so I mean, sweet Katharina, in thy bed. And therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus in plain terms, your father hath consented that you shall be my wife. Your dowry agreed on, and will you, I will marry you. Now, Kate, I am a husband for your turn. For by this light, whereby I see thy beauty that doth make me like thee well, thou must be married to no man but me. I am born to tame you, Kate, and bring you from a wild Kate to a Kate conformable as other household Kates. Here comes your father. never make denial. I must and will have Katerina to my wife. I think we can stop there.
Well, did I cut you off too soon? I thought, well, here comes your father meant that was the end of the two.
I was assuming that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. So
That was fun.
anyway, we'll go back to see who's gonna what two will perform next. So I'll take my name off. We'll see who gets. So it'll be for the next one. Okay, so the next one will eliminate Bill, so it'll just be me and Elizabeth for the next one. So we'll stick to the one male, one female scene, and we'll spin. So myself and Elizabeth will do. Ooh, is much ado about. Oh, this is great. Yeah, I love this one.
Beatrice and Benedict?
Yeah, I think it's the one at the end, after the toward the end of the scene, after the wedding has been broken up, and it's just them left. So give me a second to find that.
Me too. It would start with Lady Beatrice. Have you wept all this while?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Oh, I've never read this out loud. This will be fun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
I have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Ah, how much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such a friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is that not strange?
As strange as the thing, I know not. It were as possible for me to say, I love nothing so well as you, but believe it not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love you not.
Not you eat your word?
Will no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest. I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What, bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then, with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, Count Compact, a sweet gallant, surely, oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake, but manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliments, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die, a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
That was
Wow.
fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. It's such a great scene.
Yeah, it's such a great, it is far and away for me. That's my favorite of the comedies, at least. I'm into the. Most people really like Twelfth Night or Midsummer, but I just love Much Ado About Nothing. It's such a great.
It is. It's so great.
So
why don't you spin and do a 2 male scene, because I've done 2 scenes so far.
Yeah, well, that's what we were doing. We were gonna do the last scene was gonna be me and Bill, because first I eliminated myself, then I eliminated Bill. Now we'll eliminate you. We'll finish with a male scene with me and Bill.
Perfect.
Sounds fair. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll go to the male one, and we'll spin that one.
Oh boy.
Okay, Malcolm and Macduff.
Oh my gosh! Good luck! Wow.
Yeah, I think that's because there's a couple where another character comes. Let me see. We have to skip some parts where another character, but it's mostly the 2 of them planning the rebellion. Let's do you have a preference for which one you're going to go, or do you need to spin for that, or you get to choose?
I haven't even thought about that, other than the thought that I really like this scene a lot. I think it offers the actor who's playing Macduff a real challenge. Now the question is, where do we start?
Well, you know what? It looks like I remember it starts with it's just the 2 of us, and then Ross enters.
Right. Right.
I think we'll probably take it from the top and go up to the point when Ross enters. I think that would be the logical way to.
You're right.
Or like Macduff, we enter an English doctor.
I can read the doctor line.
Oh, you want to do that?
Sure.
Thank you, doctor.
It's one line. Yeah.
You're right.
That'll work.
Ross and, okay, that way you can do that. We can keep the scene going a little bit longer. We'll finish when we don't have a Ross, so we'll go up until Ross enters, I guess.
Okay.
That makes sense. So we'll keep all 3 of us in here, but I'll remove this. And Bill, did you want to be Malcolm or Macduff? I'll let you choose.
For the sake of choosing, I'll be Malcolm.
Okay. So Malcolm starts the scene off. So whenever you're ready.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe I'll wail, what no believe, and what I can redress as I shall find the time to friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance, this tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well, he hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hope.
Perchance even there, where I did find my doubts, why in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave-taking, I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed for country, great tyranny, lay thou thy bases sure, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs, thy title is afeard. Fare thee well, my lord. I would not be the villain that thou think'st, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer in more sundry ways than ever, by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in all the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avarice, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust, and my desire all continent impediments would o'erbear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink. We have willing dams enough. There cannot be as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a stanchless avarice that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house. And my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
The avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust. and yet it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear, Scotland hath foistons to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar of the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland.
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am, as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptered, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accused, and does not blaspheme his breed? Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatst upon thyself hath banished me from Scotland. O my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over credulous haste. But God above, deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak my own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine, and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old Sigurd, with 10,000 warlike men, already at a point, was setting forth. Now, we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile.
Well, more anon. Comes the king forth, I pray you?
Aye, sir, there are a crew of wretched souls that stay his cure. Their malady convinces the great assay of art, but at his touch, such sanctity hath heaven given his hand, they presently amend.
I thank you, doctor.
What's the disease he means?
But we're going to end into Ross, okay. 'Tis called the evil, a most miraculous work in this good king, which often since my here remain in England I have seen him do. How he solicits heaven himself best knows, but strangely visited people all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye, the mere despair of surgery, he cures, hanging a golden stamp about their necks, put on with holy prayers, and to spoken to the succeeding royalty, he leaves the healing benediction. With this strange virtue he hath a heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne that speak him full of grace. And that's
okay, great. So, what do you guys think? I think that went great. That we added.
I like doing that. Yeah.
The scenes as well, rather than doing a monologue twice. We did one monologue each, and then we took turns about how we're gonna each do a two-person scene. That was awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That was really fun.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the things I mentioned before we close this out, Bill asked last week, is anybody really watching us during this? I don't really know. and trust me, in terms of play, I mean, I've done it before. It's depressing in live theater, and when we're actually in person playing to an almost empty house. Well, I've done that before in community theater, but you get anybody. I saw one person was making comments. They put clapping emojis after. I think it was after. You can't see it. I'm looking. One person on YouTube was watching earlier. I think he's gone now, but he gave clapping emojis to Elizabeth's monologue.
For me, I teach Shakespeare and I direct Shakespeare for young people, but I never get to do it myself. So I joined when the COVID happened. I joined every opportunity to read Shakespeare out loud, every chance I got, because it also helped me be a better teacher and better director.
Yeah, but my point is that even if they don't watch us live, the good thing about it's a live stream, but then after it processes, takes like a couple hours after we're done with the live stream to process, and then it becomes a video on YouTube, and people can. I do see it. Obviously, I'd like to get more views than it does, but some people do view us afterwards, and so that's cool. And the other people playing this, especially if you're interested in more people watching, I encourage you, find it on YouTube and share it on share the link. Say, I performed this today. Come check me out. We can get more people, and maybe we'll get more people to watch us live next weekend if they like what they see. So I just wanted to finish by encouraging you to share, especially since you're asking, is anybody actually watching us and you want more people to see, please go ahead, go onto YouTube, find the video and share it with as many people, with your friends. Let them know, look what I did today. And, just a thought.
Cool.
So
thank you. That was fun.
Any other things that you guys wanted to share before we close it out until next week?
No, I think I'm gonna stay on and try to figure out my camera. I gotta.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully, we can see you next Saturday.
That would be great.
We still loved having you, even though we couldn't actually see you.
Well, thank you. It was very fun.
Yeah, it was. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next Saturday.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark. Bye. Bye-bye.